trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USBTO, từ Helen Hand, từ trên Scout, Logistics và Warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
Remember, the goal, the overarching goal is to identify as many keywords as possible that are profitable, launch them, and start getting sales. So if you have 100, 200, 300, 5,000 keywords, all of those bringing one sale a day, you start making a lot of sales. And so that's kind of the goal, and that's why we're going to leverage auto broaden phrase to identify those search terms. We're going to use the data that Amazon gives us, and then from that data, we're going to make the decision. So let's jump right in. We're back in the campaign manager. There's two ways to do this. Let's start with the manual way. So I'm going to click on any one of these campaigns, open in a new tab, and then I'm going to click on the ad group. And then from there, I'm going to click on search terms. So these are all of the search terms that were discovered in this broad campaign. There was one broad keyword. Obviously, this is branded, so disregard the actual search terms. It could be anything, but these are all of the search terms that were discovered. So we were actually only targeting hard work, and it came up with all of these search terms. And all of them got clicks. Now we can sort by ACOS, or if you have a lot of different keywords, you can just filter and say, show me only ACOS that is less than 40%, or whatever your range is. And that range will really depend on which phase you are in. So if you're in a launching phase, because if you take 20 keywords and launch them all at once, and let's say 15 of them are not profitable, you really hurt yourself. But if you take 5 and you launch them, and 2 are profitable, 3 are not profitable, it lessens the blow. So these are the keywords or customer search terms that were discovered from this individual keyword. Now, before I take this keyword and launch it in another campaign, because I'm trying to bid and get sales on it, I have to make sure that it's unique, that I'm not already launching it. So what I'll do is I will take this keyword, copy it, go to the targeting tab, our favorite targeting tab, click here and search. And as this searches, it's going to identify if we've been targeting this keyword. Now, if we are targeting this keyword in a certain match type, we don't want to target it again. So as you can see here, these are paused, so you don't have to worry about that. These are the two delivering, and these are both broad. So what that means is, if we identified that this keyword is being targeted as a broad keyword, we don't want to launch it as another broad keyword. We can launch it as a phrase keyword or exact match type keyword. But if we launch it as another broad keyword, then you have the exact same keyword in 2 separate campaigns. And what happens is things start to get weird. Now, if that bid goes up for that new keyword, if this old keyword, or if that same keyword but the old campaign was profitable, you start seeing the sales go down. And then you're like, why was this keyword so profitable and it's no longer profitable? And that could be a reason why. So we just want to make sure that we're not duplicating. And this is kind of the process of deduplication, is identifying the search terms that you want to launch and then making sure that you're not already targeting them for each match type. So if we're targeting them in broad, we can go phrase and exact, no problem at all, because they're different match types. They behave differently. So broad is going to be like a combination of a bunch of different keywords. Phrase is another combination of a bunch of different keywords. So they're not really the same keyword. You might think it's the exact same keyword, 2 different match types, but it's actually 2 different groups. And those groups are different enough that we can launch them separately and get different results. So treat them as separate. I'm going to go back to Campaign Manager, click here on Measurement and Reporting on the left side, click on Reports. It's going to open up the reports. There is something called the Search Term Report. So I'm going to click on Create a Report, and as soon as this opens up, we're going to select some of the options. So sponsor products is what we're going for. We can also do it for sponsor brand or display or video. But for now, we're just focused on sponsor products advertising. So basically our keywords and our product targets that we want to extract which terms were profitable. This is a search term report. There's a lot more reports here that we will go through. We're not going to go through every single one, but there's a budget, a placement, and placement report is basically what we covered in the module where we covered placements. However, you can just find a full report where you can identify every single campaign and what the placements are. So there's a lot of good stuff here. Give your report a name. So you can say, you know, this is MMA 5, 26, 22, 30 days. So this is the last 30 days based on this date for MMA. You can also email it to yourself. You can also create a recurring report that gets emailed to you at whatever, you know, recurring date you want. When Amazon loses that data, deletes it because, you know, maybe it's no longer relevant, you can still have it, and you can go back and maybe, you know, 12 months ago certain things were happening and now different things are happening, and you can analyze the differences. So we're going to run that report, but essentially once we download the report, this is what it's going to look like. And these are the different columns. There is a start date and end date of basically the search term, what the portfolio name is, currency, campaign name, self-explanatory, ad group name, targeting. So this is the keyword that we're targeting. These are the keywords that are inside of the campaign, the match type of those keywords, the actual customer search terms. So you'll see here, for this keyword, this broad keyword, it triggered for all of these different search terms. So powder electrolytes triggered for electrolytes powder blue raspberry. Powder electrolytes triggered for highlight electrolyte powder. So as you can see, broad really can show up for a lot of different keywords and gets you a lot of different results. Now here are like the regular metrics, right? Impressions, clicks, click-through rate, cost per click, spend in sales, and ACOS. So first of all, let's say, what is our range of a profitable search term? Let's click here at the corner, sort and filter, add a filter, and let's say for me, between 1 to 20% ACOS, I consider as profitable search terms. Before anything, let's extract the exact, remove and filter out the exact, because they're not going to discover any search terms. They're basically bidding on an exact search term. So we're going to remove that. We're only showing phrase, broad, and auto. Now that we're here, I'm going to click on the ACOS and I want to click create a filter. Now the filter is between, so I want to show anything that's between 0.1% and 20%. Okay, here we go. And now here is, and we can also just quickly sort it by descending. Here is a list of keywords that, or search terms, that have 1 to 20% ACOS. And those are the search terms. Now, those are profitable search terms that we have seen to perform very well based on the search term. What we can do is extract those keywords, launch them in more campaigns, and hopefully when we launch them in those campaigns, we can show up more for those keywords and get more sales. Remember, these keywords showed up in a broad or phrase campaign. So there's 50 other keywords, 60 other keywords that showed up with it. So if it showed up once and made a sale, what happens if we can put it in its own campaign and show up 100 times? It could make a lot more sales. But the thing to remember here is, without data, we don't know. And a lot of people in the past will extract a search term outside of a campaign and a keyword that's already working and then add it as a negative. What happens is it no longer spends in that campaign. You lose the income from that keyword that's in that broad or phrase search term, and then when you launch it as phrase or exact, it doesn't generate sales. And you ask yourself why. It was performing well in the broad. Why is it not performing well when I put it in exact? We don't know. We just have to work off of data. The final piece of extracting search terms from the search term report is deduplication. Now, I only showed you guys how to do this by going into the targeting tab, searching for the keyword, and identifying if it's there or not there, and then if it's there, not targeting it. But an efficient way to do this is to extract these search terms and deduplicate them using a macro. So there's a macro that I've developed, and basically it'll take the search terms, put them in a column, take the broad, phrase, and exact and ASINs that we're targeting from bulk sheets, put them in separate columns, and then from there, deduplicate them and make sure that we're not targeting anything that's already being targeted. So I'll show you exactly how to do this. Okay, so we jump in here. This is the sheet. Let me blow it up for you guys. Now, here is where the column of search term reports is going to be. And here's the keywords from bulk sheet that are exact, broad, phrase, and ASINs. So what this is going to do is I'm going to put the keywords here that we discovered and then put the exact search terms here. from the bulk sheet that we're targeting right now. And, fill the rest out. And once I click generate data, it's going to match what I already have right now as exact versus what's in the search term report. And if something is in the search term report and is not in exact, it's going to show up here in unique exact, and so on and so forth. So let me show you how to do this. Let's go here. Let's copy these search terms. Let's get them all. So remember, these are the search terms that are between the 1 to 20% ACOS. And let's go up here. I'm going to paste it here. And then next, I'm going to open up the bulk sheet and identify the exact, broad, and phrase and ASINs, add them in here. So I have the bulk sheet open here. Let me blow this up a little bit. And I'm going to go to Sponsor Product Campaigns, which is the second tab. Highlight everything. Let's make this a little bit larger so it's easy, very easy to see. And I'm going to click Filter. Then I'm going to go remove anything that's paused, right? So right here, this is paused. Remove that. This is paused. Nothing's paused here. Remove paused here. Also, in record type, I'm going to only select keyword and product targeting. So that's going to show me only the keywords and product targets in the bulk sheet, not the campaigns and all the other stuff. And then finally, I'm going to start isolating based on match type. So let's start with just exact. So these are the only exact keywords that I'm targeting. The keyword is right here. So I'm going to extract those. Go to the sheet, put them in here. Go back, switch to broad, copy that, put it here, go back, switch to phrase right here, copy those, go back, paste it, and then the final one is the ASINs. So right here, go to targeting expression, copy these ASINs. Now this sheet is formatted that it understands the ASINs and it can compare this ASIN with this ASIN. So you don't have to worry about that. You click on generate data. These are the unique exact keywords. These are the unique broad. These are the unique phrase. And there's no unique ASIN. So I guess this we're already targeting here. And as you can see, if I expand on this right here, anything here is already being targeted here. So that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. This one is right here. So based on this, so we can take these keywords and we can launch these keywords as exact. And these keywords is broad and these keywords is phrase. And we don't have to worry, I guess, and you'll see like there is differences, right? So in this case here, there's only, there's 22 and here there's 23. So it tells you that I might have targeted certain things in broad, but not in exact or phrase. So that's why I deduplicate this. And all we have to do is extract these search terms and launch them in their own campaigns. And now that we know they are not already being targeted as broad or phrase or exact because we just checked. This is what we currently have running for broad, phrase, and exact and ASIN. And we're not relaunching anything. So guys, this template that I was working on, we have created one for you and we have linked it in this module. So it's free for download. You can download it in this module, get it, use it. It's obviously going to be empty, so you have to populate it, but just follow the steps that I took. Go to the search term report, extract the search terms, put them in the first column, go to the bulk sheets, extract the other columns, broad, phrase, exact, and ASIN, put them in the correct columns, and then click on the button to generate the data. The macro will run, deduplicate, and then whatever you see on the right is unique search terms in each match type. Make sure you're following the match type. So if it's a keyword in exact, don't assume that it's going to be also in broad and phrase, but you can use that and then launch new campaigns.
bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USBTO, từ Thailand, từ Google Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem thêm thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.